Okay, today I'm going to make a brisket in the oven. So I've got a large brisket, and the first thing I'm going to do is inject it. And I've got Tony Chachere's injectable. This is Creole butter. You can also go with a jalapeno butter or something else. So first thing we're going to do is inject this all throughout the meat. And if it runs out, that's fine. Oops, because it's porous. But we're going to just try to get some of that flavor inside the meat. Okay, next step I'm going to do is I'm going to rub the whole thing with mustard, both sides. I've already done the other side, but we're rubbing it all with mustard. This is going to give it a nice flavor, even if you don't like mustard, because I hate mustard. But this is going to give it a good flavor, because we don't have a pit, and so we want to try to get that flavor that you would do with a pit in there. I say flavor a lot. Okay, next I'm going to do is I'm going to season it very good, because you got a lot of meat here, so even though you think you might be over seasoning it, you're not. So I'm using Textroy steak seasoning, and I'm just going to rub it all over the meat. And I'm going to use salt and pepper. Do some salt. Like I said, this is a big piece of meat, so you don't worry about it. And that mustard we put on there is going to help kind of that seasoning stick to it. And we got garlic powder and pepper. And I'm going to do both sides like this. And you can add your own seasoning blend if you're used to doing something that you like, but this is going to make it yummy. So this is what I'm doing today. Okay, so I've seasoned it all up, and I'm putting foil, of course, in the bottom of the pan to catch all the juices and stuff, and I'm going to cover it with foil. And I put it fat side up so that fat can drip down into the meat and make it all juicy. That's how I like it. So I'm just going to wrap it all up real tight, and I'm going to stick it, oh, so that's a timer for something else. I'm going to stick it in the oven at 300 degrees for about 5 hours. You want to cook it low and slow in the oven. And so I'm just going to make it real tight. And I know this is, my pan's fitting here, but I might even put a pan underneath it in the oven just to catch anything that might come off, just so you don't have a messy cleanup later. But I think this will be okay. So 300 for 5 hours. Okay, so I have cooked the brisket for like 5 or 6 hours on 300, and I've taken it out and I've let it rest a little bit. What I did was I just kind of carved the fat off the top of right here. So I did that already. And now I'm going to take the top part up here, and I'm going to turn it away from me. And I'm going to kind of cut through. Oh, that don't work too good. I watched a YouTube video on how to do this. I don't know if I'm doing it right, but we'll find out. So what you want to do is this is the top part, and you want to cut the bottom part off. And we're going to cut through. I've already done that. Okay, turn it off. Okay, so this is what's left over of our brisket, because I had a bunch of people over here who wanted some good brisket. So I have some left over that I just chopped up for chopped sandwiches or whatever. Add barbecue sauce if you want. Make a quesadilla out of it, whatever. And this is what was left of the sliced brisket. I cut it against the grain and made nice slices, but this was just the end part of it, and I was putting it together. But just follow my easy steps and put it in the oven for 5 hours. Go to church, come home a couple hours later, you got a nice brisket. And you didn't have to monitor a pit or anything. And I don't have one, so this kind of worked out good for me. So that's it. Good brisket.